All right, so what's the background color?
Green.
All right. What's in the picture?
It's a big mountain, and there's rocks, and the rocks are floating on the ocean.
You see anything else?
Yeah. Trees in the water.
Trees in the water, okay.
And I see some clouds in the sky.
That's usually where those are. All right. Are there any numbers at the bottom of the card?
No.
All right. What's at the top of the card?
A 1 and a tree.
A 1 and a tree. Okay.
Can you try to guess, guys?
I'm not sure. I had a guess, but then you said 1 and a tree, and my guess was wrong.
What was your guess going to be?
My guess was going to be that that green retrace spell that looks for land. Not retrace.
I was going to say, that's not it.
Clash.
Oh, the one that was in your Charbelcher deck?
Yes.
Charizard, go.
The art sort of sounds like that. I'm having trouble seeing it.
Trees and a mountain.
I did it beside
water.
Mike last night for dinner.
Yeah,
Rocks
okay.
floating on the water.
Churches.
Churches?
What's the symbol
One more,
in the
and that's
middle of
it.
the card?
No more.
What is that set symbol? That set, this has been printed more than once, although only once in a standard legal set. This symbol is from dual decks. It's from one of the dual decks, I should say.
Okay.
Well, that doesn't help.
Well, if I tell you which dual deck, it'll narrow it down too much. Although, I realize it's not... She didn't do a bad job describing it, but it's from Elspeth versus Kiora. Just to move things along.
Green.
Was Sylvan Scrying in that deck? Or is it Explore?
It's Explore.
Okay.
Now I gotta look up Explorers. Explore.
Let's explore.
I like the way when I type explore, I was just looking at rules text. Whoops. Quiet you. Hang on. Explore.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see it now.
Yep. There's definitely trees in that there water.
Nice.
Yeah, that's a mountain.
I would not have known it from that art because I've never actually seen that art before, I don't think.
Because that's not the art from World Wake, which I think is the one that we're all more familiar with.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Well, thank you, Sam.
Say goodnight to everybody.
Good night.
All right. I'll be back with you guys. I'll be back with you guys in a minute.
Okay.
Brian's, or Sam, somebody's getting devious, picking alternate art that was only printed once in a dual deck. That's terrible. How did you do that, Mike?
Well, I know it had to be a land search spell.
Oh, did it?
From the description of the art. Yeah, if the description of the art is just landscape on a green spell, then it's some kind of land search.
Oh, see, when she said it's coming out of the water, I was thinking of something like a flood effect or something, but those aren't really green.
Yeah, I don't know if there's been one of those in a while.
Well, he might have grabbed something old. You never know.
Yeah.
Meh.
That's part of the reason why I asked for the expansion symbol.
Mike chose wisely.
Like he does.
Uh-huh.
When it doesn't matter.
Exactly. Yeah. Oh, jam! Hello again, and welcome back. No, wait, that's the video intro.
To another episode
of Brawling with Buddies. Dang. Okay, hold on. Let me do that again. I want to start putting the "oh jam" in front of everything. It's automatic to rattle off the video intro. Okay, here we go. Oh jam! Hello again, and welcome back to the Mana Pool. Whatever, close enough. Hello again, and welcome to the Mana Pool. There we go. I just got to practice. I should have done that off the air, but I'm not professional. Oh my god. This is episode... Stall while I go look. This is 423?
My guess was 422, but now I don't know if that's right.
Yeah, this is 423. Because the last one was 422. Excellent. because I just went to the website. Look, we've all been working out the finer details and have not been paying attention to the big picture here. You'll understand shortly. I am Chewy. I am bad at this game, and I am the lead dork. And with me, as always, is someone eating or something.
That's me playing with my dice.
Oh, wait, hang on. Okay. You're spoiling it, Dirk. You're spoiling it. Not that they haven't seen the title of the episode, but whatever.
They don't know that. I could just be playing with my dice, and they would never know if I told them. All right, be quiet, you.
It's dorks. Yay, dorks. Who are you people?
I'm Brian. I'm the lead rambler, and I am not currently playing with anybody's dice. Dirk, come here.
Here you go.
Well, thank you.
You got snake eyes, Brian.
Ah!
That's not good.
I'm Mike.
It's like a critical failure.
Yeah. I'm Mike. I'm the rules guy and the game lore guy, and I have dice too.
Yay!
And I'm Dirk, the self-proclaimed greenest man alive and moral compass of the group, and I have a big old bag of dice. And I'm playing with my big old bag of dice. What about you?
I also do. Mine is it's a Crown Royal Select bag. I think it's called purple? Select. It's one of the nice, like, deep purple ones.
Mm-hmm.
Not the band, but the old man had a bunch of them, and I was like, this one's pretty, I'm taking it for my dice, like, way, way back. And he's like, you would take the expensive one, wouldn't you? I was like, yep. And so there you go. I don't actually know what dice we're going to need, so I just grabbed the whole sack.
It's good to have a couple.
Oh, yeah. So, we're going to do something that has been requested many times since we did it the first time in episode... Did I leave it open on the iPad?
Is it 408? 407?
40 something, I don't know. Back to the mana pool. Also have the hiccups. And I might actually be dead. The jury's still out. It was 407. Yeah, the first time we were in the daily update. Hell yeah, daily update.
Around and put us in again.
Oh, that'd be cool.
No, that they turned around and put us in again like the next day. So.
Oh yeah, because we're awesome. Shut up. We'll go with that. So, now what?
Well, so what are we doing? You didn't actually say what we're doing.
No, because that's your deal.
That's my deal? Okay, all right. So we are doing the Magic RPG, the one that we've been talking about doing for a while, and I said, hey, let's give this a shot.
Wait, give them a second so they can all stop going, ah! I gotta let the applause die down.
And that's what the pause button's for.
They don't know where the pause button is. They're gonna have to find their phone.
They're probably not even listening to us. They're gonna have to rewind and listen to this whole thing again, and then they're gonna realize this wasn't worth rewinding to hear. So we started this with character creation back in February, and then I said I knew that it might be a little while before we got this off the ground because March we were planning for that very special April episode. In April, work was crazy, and in May, I was going out of the state and out of the country. So here we are, it's June, and my hope is that we will do this, not that we will do this every episode. Previews start next week, guys.
Yay.
Do they really?
Next week is not the first week of previews. However, they have already said in the daily update from yesterday that they're going to go ahead and unload some stuff on us next Monday. And then previews will officially start on the 27th. So this isn't something we're going to do every time, but my goal is to do this.
It's a small set.
Yeah, but my goal is to do this every couple weeks versus every couple months. So, last time we got together, we did some rolls and determined which characters these guys are going to play. And before we get started, we'll go ahead and do a brief rundown of that. Then we'll talk about the rules just a little bit, not enough to drive anybody crazy, just so that they're not caught completely unawares, and then we will dive right in. So,
mind you, listeners, we are learning this along with you because Brian has not given us anything to go by.
Right, which is part of which is very intentional because I don't want to. I want them to discover the world along with you, and that's why the materials won't be released for some time. But
I meant like the rules, like how stuff works. We don't even know that.
Right, and we'll go over what you need to know soon enough. So, but somebody tell us about your character.
I'm a no-class angel.
You are a no-class angel. What's the name of your character?
Well, my character doesn't remember.
Right.
She knows bits and pieces about her past life. She knows she came from Fiora, and she knows that she went to Wrath and had harrowing experiences there on her first planeswalk. But that and a few other fine details are all she really remembers.
Mm-hmm.
And she carries a great burden of guilt from her secret, which is a thing that we rolled for.
Yes.
And yeah, so just call her the Angel.
Yeah. So Chewie's playing the Angel.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
Not like Nahiri crazy, like Wolverine crazy. Like, go nuts and rip things to shreds with her sword.
Berserker rage crazy.
Yeah.
But she's hot at the same time.
Yeah, because, much like myself, all the points went into charisma, except it's charm, which is actually, hotness, but same thing.
Pretty much. You got 3 in charm and 2 in bluff, so, yeah.
Yeah, so even if you don't find me charming, I'm gonna make you think I'm charming.
Yes. Those are actually very complimentary skills, so. Okay.
I know, I've been using them all my life.
And you're also the only one that naturally has flying, so that could be an advantage. Okay? Somebody else. Like Mike, maybe. I don't know.
All right.
The GM that I'm going to pull rank every now and then. So.
Yeah. I mean, just go ahead and tell us what to do.
All right, Mike, start talking.
Yeah, my character is Karim Ferris. He's a red-aligned soldier. He's a human soldier. He's originally from a city called Sunari that's in the Osai Desert on Chandalar. The Osai Desert is where the Osai vultures come from. But don't hold that against it.
Meh.
And so he started on Chandalar through a series of misadventures, one of which he prefers not to talk about. He ended up going on his first planeswalk to Tarkir, where during the Khans of Tarkir storyline, he spent some time as basically a captive slave of a Mardu raiding band. But then during the revised timeline, he fell in with a group of trackers and hunters who were working for the Atarka brood. But eventually he got bored doing that, so now he's here.
All right. And definitely red aligned. You've got more experience in the wild than the others do, which you've got a couple points in trekking and tracking, which are 2 different things. Mm-hmm. And some stealth, and so you're definitely an outdoorsy kind of guy. It seems like.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right, and then Dirk.
So my character's name is Alaric. I really hadn't gone into the titles or anything of that sort, but his plane of origin is Innistrad, and his story is that he grew up in the region of Kessig, and in a little township there, and he was living his life. He had started to be trained as a monk, and while he was doing training, everything, his parents were attacked by werewolves and went missing, and he dedicated his time to becoming fully into becoming a monk and everything, and eventually the township that he was part of was attacked, and there was a very big battle and everything, and this was all during the time of the first round of Innistrad block. So while this is all going on, Avacyn's wards were failing, and so it led to more attacks and everything. And so the township he was part of eventually was surrounded and attacked by werewolves. And in all that, he ends up, his spark ignites at the end of the defense of the town and everything. And that's also about the time that Avacyn was released from the Hell Vault. And so the wards came back into being after that. And so he ended up planeswalking to Theros, and from there he spent some time lurking around in the forest in the region, the foresty region of Theros, and eventually would bump into some of the I don't remember, what was the city-state that was in the green foresty area?
Gavany?
I think that one. But that's where he ends up doing, spending some time in that area.
Gavany is on Innistrad. You're talking about Theros?
Oh,
Yeah.
wait, I screwed up.
I was about to say, wait.
Derp.
Cessnia?
Okay, Oside Desert.
Shut up.
But yeah, he ends up spending some time in that area, and eventually gets in with the Green God in that on Theros. Mm-hmm. The huntress.
Satessa.
There you go.
Yes, Satessa, and the god is Nylia. So, and I just want to point out, for the listeners' sake, that the stories that these guys just described, they came up with completely on their own. We figured out, what plane they were from and what their race was and where they planeswalked to, and barely like the secret, which formed a little bit of their personality. And these guys did the rest. I didn't do anything. I didn't say, hey, they should do this or they should do that or whatever. That was completely up to them. So I got to give them props. Because without the character, I look at this as telling a story. And without the characters to populate it, your characters are the only ones that are going to be wandering around. The others are kind of like NPCs. It's the guy at the corner saying, times are tough.
That's too bad. I've always wanted to be a cardboard cutout. Oh, well.
Maybe next time.
Yay.
All right, so we've got the characters. We'll go into the story in just a little bit. I've got a prologue and the first couple of steps here, and we'll go through that. But right now, I just wanted to briefly go over the rules and not comprehensive at all. So there's a little bit of story at the beginning, and then I'm going to give the reign over to you guys, and you can take actions. Again, I see this more as a story. There are some rules in place, but it's a kind of fluid situation. So
I cast a spell.
Yeah, that is it.
Am I getting drunk yet?
Am I gonna regret this? I'm probably gonna regret this. But no, I mean, as your characters are free to ask questions, and you can step out of your role and ask, "What can I do in this sort of situation?" I'll let you know when you can take actions. This is not nearly as on the rails as the last one we did. You're free to
Cheetos!
wander around and do what you want. As far as magic, now I've thought about this a whole lot, and I've gone through a lot of different scenarios.
I have a very important question.
Go ahead.
Are there girls there?
Screw you guys, I'm going home. Oh, wait, I'm already home. Yes, there are, in fact, girls there. Don't ask the next question.
Yeah, I'm there.
You better watch your manners. You're traveling around with a very feminist person there. Is there a word for that? Probably.
I will cut your head off if you piss me off.
That's the word I'm looking for. So I don't think there's a word for that.
Although I don't think I have a sword. But once I get a sword...
Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. We haven't gone to the store yet.
Nobody... All right. No, they only have the clothes on their back. Everybody's got some gold. I think looks like Alaric has 10, the Angel has 13, and Mike has 17 gold pieces. You'll have the opportunity to buy things in a while. But the only possessions you have are the clothes on your back, and everyone has access to 3 basic lands of your chosen color. So for Dirk, that's forests. For Mike, that's mountains. And for Chewie, that's plains. How combat is going to work, as far as magic outside of combat, that's more of a general discussion we'll have as far as where we think your abilities are and what we think you can do and how you apply them. In combat, it's going to be a little more strict. And at first I thought maybe, okay, you can have all your mana sources, but as much as I don't really care a whole lot about using magic as a template, I want it to feel a little bit like magic. So when you initiate combat, and there's going to be a couple steps to that to determine who goes first and things like that. During your character's turn, you can essentially call a mana source, and that's like playing a land from your hand, and it's available starting at that point. And you can do that, and you can still take another action that turn, although because I wanted to have a little bit of a penalty, you have to do that at the beginning of your turn. You can't just do that later. And then if any turn where you call a mana source, because it's taking a little bit of your concentration to do so, your power is cut in half, rounded down for that turn. So, but once you've got it, you can use it. And you can use it for spells that you've already got. We've already assigned you your spells that you have right now. Dirk, I'm going to come to yours in a minute because I changed the way Mana Spring works because it was just awkward. So I'll come back to that in a second. And you can just...
Dirk got nerfed.
You can start using them as much as you want. However, to try and to keep this from just chain casting, you're sitting back and you're just chain casting all the time, I'm going to give myself a little bit of discretion as the GM to say you're starting to exhaust that source so that maybe it won't quote-unquote untap next turn. You're going to have to start spacing them out more. Okay?
All right, Derek, be sure to stay on the GM's good side.
Gotcha.
When you enter a new geographical location, and I don't mean every single square patch of ground, but when you enter a new geographical location, once a day you can try and how do I put that in here? You can try and bond with that land to gain it as a mana source.
Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet?
And we'll get into how to do that when it actually comes up. So,
I had an actual question about this.
Go ahead.
Do you regret this yet?
Not yet. We're getting closer. But in all seriousness, are you following me so far?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and then also during combat, not only can you call mana sources, but you can attack. I thought about having you like just in Magic, when you attack something with a power, you also take damage. And then I also thought, wow, this is going to make it feel really lousy when you're going up against swarms of things because you're just going to die because you're going to take a ton of damage anyway. So now when something attacks, it essentially has first strike. There are certain abilities that can get around that, but when you attack something, you're dealing damage to it, absent some other intervening ability. Okay?
Yeah, I don't think you have to describe it as first strike, but just as, the normal way RPGs work.
Well, there you go. But versus how...
Personally, I don't know how that works, so...
Yeah.
You've played video games before.
Well, when
that's true.
attack in Final Fantasy, you're not really worried about getting hit back unless they counter, so... It's that situation here. Dirk, you picked the Mana Spring ability, which I was trying so hard to find a mana ramp skill, and I had it making green, but then I had to think, well, I don't want all the spells to just be used during combat, so how does that work outside of combat? And I have decided, that screw it, because now we're calling mana sources. What it basically is for 1 and a green, I've kept the cost the same. You're basically doing a ramping growth. So you're going ahead and calling another mana source. It doesn't cost any extra detriment to your power, but because you're casting a spell, that's a big enough ability. You're not also attacking that turn. And you can only use it once per battle. So you can't just use it over and over and over again. And then outside of combat, you can just cast it to gain 3 mana, so you basically go up 1, but you can only use it outside of combat once per day. Got it?
Okay.
You with me? Okay. So that everything else that everybody picked should work the same. So that's pretty much what I had. Things that I felt like you needed to know right now. Again, as we get into situations, we'll discuss it. We'll talk about how things are working. You're going to do a lot of die rolls to figure out if you can do things or not, and that's going to be based on some of your modifiers that you picked up. One of the biggest ones that's going to come up most often is trekking.
Yay, Mike.
That's how you move between places. And you're going somewhere where you're not just walking down the street. You're going to be traversing some wild places, spoiler alert. So you could actually, it's very feasible you guys could end up getting lost. So the trekking skill, even just having 1 point in that may make a big difference. So, and we will, to try and keep things moving, we'll go into...
I can feel that I'm going to get blamed for stuff later on.
Yep.
Absolutely. But to keep things moving along, we'll cover moving when it comes to that, from one region to another.
Hey, Mike.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, what's your name?
Karim.
Spell that.
Karim.
Okay. Now I have to see it to be able to pronounce it properly. So, hey, Karim.
Yes.
You're lucky I don't have a freaking sword yet.
He hasn't messed up yet. Come on.
He will.
I will.
All right. Other actual specific questions that you guys have before we get started, before we delve in.
Refresh me on how actual attacks work in combat.
Well, when it's your character's turn, you will choose a creature that's on the field and visible from where you are, and when you'll announce that you're going to attack them, and then if you do so, then assuming that there are no other modifiers, you're just going to run over there and punch them and deal damage equal to your attack. Creatures, you guys have hit points because I wanted you to have an extra layer of protection. Creatures that are just out there are basically work just like in Magic when they take damage equal to your power. When they take damage equal to their toughness, then they die. Creatures with the flying may be a little harder to hit, things like that. But for the most part, as long as you've got clear line of sight on them, you're going to hit them, unless there's something else in the way.
So with us, I have 2 toughness and 3 hit points. Mm-hmm. Does that mean I essentially have 5 hit points, or does it mean something else?
Well, what that means is you will gradually replenish both, but you will replenish toughness a lot more, a lot faster, even between battles. Hit points will take much longer to come back, usually over the course of a day, or if you're resting, it might come back a little faster. Okay. So you can think of toughness almost as armor, and hit points are life.
Okay, so toughness acts like hit points, but it grows back faster.
Yes.
Okay.
And they have to go through your toughness first.
Okay.
Good.
Other questions?
Okay. I probably had something about toughness and hit points, but I think that probably, covered it.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like that was something I needed to know before I ran face first into something that was going to kill me.
All right, well then.
So lucky I don't have a sword yet, Karim.
Okay. Are we good to get started then?
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Okay. All right. This is not going to be all me just talking all the time, but I did write a bit of a prologue here to get things going.
Like every other episode? Ho!
Yes. So, I call this the Heirs of Trivester campaign. So, your party, a group of planeswalkers that recently met under fairly amicable circumstances, relaxes at a tavern on Ravnica. Having rested for some days, the innate feeling of wanderlust common to all walkers has settled in, and you discuss the topic of a new undertaking with each other. For all the activity in the city lately, no one seems particularly interested in remaining on Ravnica. A loud, boisterous argument about Niv Mizzet and the place of dragons in Ravnican society catches your attention, partially because someone spills into your table.
That's racist.
One of your members, Mike's character, Karim, tells of Tarkir, a plane ruled by dragons. None of the other characters have set foot there, and the prospect of exploring new lands feels quite alluring. Alaric thinks that they can lead you there, although all of you are seasoned enough that the thought of not reaching Tarkir on the first attempt doesn't dissuade you. You all understand that walking the Blind Eternities is both science and art, and until a walker has been to a plane personally, the destination is not certain. The next morning, you wake up and stock up for your journey. From a friendly shopkeeper who owed you a debt, you receive a mystical canteen that holds enough water to last one of you a week, and a pouch with enough dried food and bread to last all of you 3 days.
All right.
I'm pausing there for emphasis. Somebody can carry it. I'm not too worried. You're not going to drop it right now. If you did, this would be a very short story.
I'm the one with the cooking skill, so I will carry the rations pouch.
All right. And the canteen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. You enter the Blind Eternities. You enter the Blind Eternities and begin to move toward what your party believes to be Tarkir. The Eternities suddenly seem to twist around you, however, and you stumble into what seems to be an extraplanar distortion. You all grab onto each other, trying desperately to get your bearings. The near passing of some unthinkably large entity, unseen but certainly felt, has caught you all off balance. Not knowing what it could be or how dangerous the Eternities have suddenly become, you all head to the nearest plane as quickly as possible. Vast, formless aether gives way to an immediate burst of colors and shapes as a world snaps into place around you. And I'm distracted. What on earth is going on? Who's trying something? Why is this taking so long to load?
I just said in the chat, the thing that passed us by was Jace's ego.
Okay. It was, in fact, Jace's ego or Emrakul. One of the two. I guess
Same thing. Whatever.
Same thing. Why'd I close that? I didn't mean to close that. Okay. All right. No, not minimize.
Time out for technical difficulties.
This game rules.
All right.
All because I had to say something funny. Oh my god.
I'll show you.
Could have just said it out loud.
I was muted and you were on a roll, so.
World snaps into place around you. You first focus on yourselves and each other. Everyone on their feet, but obviously shaken by the experience. No one is hurt, and you haven't lost any possessions. The self-analysis complete, you turn to take in your surroundings. You found yourself on a plane that none of you immediately recognize. You stand at the bottom of what appears to be a crater, about a half a mile in diameter, and about 20 feet below ground level at the bottom. The slope is gradual all around, but a clear path has been beaten into the gray, stone-hard ground going up one side. At the top of the path lies a small grouping of what appear to be low clay buildings. A forest starts some distance from the top of the crater in every direction. A single sun sets in the distance, directly opposite the buildings. You begin to stretch your limbs out, but at the first movement, a series of small pops emits from the ground around you. Each pop is accompanied by a white light similar to a flare that streaks up into the air and dies out. Page down. Dies out with a louder but similar sound just below the bottom of the clouds. All of your senses are alert, but the lights don't seem to hurt and no other traps spring. A few seconds after the lights expire, there's noticeable movement in the settlement. A crowd of what looks like humanoids starts to come together at the top edge of the path, although no one yet makes a move into the crater. Not sure if the inhabitants of this plane mean well or harm, you all prepare to planeswalk away. You call mana to the spell together, but as soon as it's complete, the mana vanishes. The world remains firmly in place around you. You are confused and now seriously depleted after spending the mana to walk essentially twice in a short amount of time. Whatever the cause, you can't leave this plane at the moment. It's time to make a decision. What's going on here, and what are you going to do? Roll credits. Or title card, or whatever you want. So the three of you are at the bottom of a crater. You don't know where you are. And there's a crowd of humanoid things gathering, a distance away at the top of this thing.
Well, I'm going to go step forward and try to negotiate with the creatures.
All right.
Karim, if you hadn't cost us all of our weapons back on Ravnica, I could just smite them where they stand.
Liquidated them for gold.
All right.
I love how the first thought for both of you is to immediately think that something's wrong. Let's go say hey first.
Okay. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to go negotiate with them.
Negotiate what? No one's making any offer. Let's just go say hello.
I think Dirk is pointing out that he wants Alaric to use his negotiate skill, but I do have to point out with Mike that a negotiation is when you barter for something.
Okay.
Are you saying that you want to go talk to them, just generally?
Yes.
Or okay.
Let's go talk to them.
I will trade you a hello for one of my own.
And Mike,
Do you think I could roll snake eyes on that?
Mike, you're also wanting to go up there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure, why not?
And what's the angel doing?
I still think we should smite them, but
So in other words, you're at the bottom with a pouty face on.
yeah, I'm gonna hold back here and keep my wings out of sight just in case.
Okay. All right. So the three of you start to walk up the crater. You notice that no one is coming down to greet you, but as you approach the top, they start to bow. You notice a couple of humans among them. There's a couple. What do we have here? We have some humans, some Leonin, and a small number of elves. And they all seem to be immediately very polite and deferential to you. They seem to be looking at you to make some sort of move first. They're sizing you up a little bit. But none of them have drawn any kind of weapon.
I'm really tempted to unfold my wings and just hover above the ground just to give them a show, but I'm not going to do that. Unless you think I should. You think it would give us courteous favor? Because I could totally do that.
I know you're not asking me because
I'm asking my fellow travelers, but they're not in character.
Greetings, everyone. Where are we exactly?
Good job.
A man steps forward and he says, "Welcome to Trivester, noble planeswalkers."
Okay, that's new.
You might be taken a little aback by the fact that on a lot of planes they don't actually know what planeswalkers are, but these people seem to have some idea of your nature.
Yeah, that's awkward. I'm immediately on the back foot because I don't like it when people know more about me than I know about them.
Okay, that's a very natural reaction.
I'm gonna just listen and continue to listen to what this person has to say.
Okay, so you're basically throwing Karim forward to ask the questions.
Under the bus.
Well,
look, we have to have someone to blame later.
The angel seems to be stepping back a little bit. Is a little concerned. Karim is more Alaric is gauging them and listening to what they're saying. So,
ready to step in and help Mike.
But they have identified you as planeswalkers, and they're still bowing to you. They're kind of still waiting to see what you say next.
You know, it's very rare for me to get that kind of greeting. Do planeswalkers come around here regularly?
At that, another Leonin comes through the crowd. The crowd seems to part as he's coming through. And he says, "Actually, noblemen, it's been a while since we've seen any of your kind, but we know of you, and we welcome you here. You are our esteemed guests. We have not seen another planeswalker in some time, and it is our honor to receive you."
Thank you. Come on, guys. Let's go hang out.
They take you they take you into the town square, and they go ahead and get you some food. As I said, the sun is setting at the moment.
Well, did Chewie come with us?
I mean, I don't really have a choice. I'm not going to stand in the crater by myself. I still don't like it, though. The angel, thank you very much.
I'm gonna keep going with this, and then I have to take a quick break to talk to Carrie in a minute. But I want to keep this going for now. So they take you into town. They get you some food. It is sundown, so everyone's preparing for food. You gather from the townspeople that your appearance was not at all expected, but they still seem to have some protocols as far as how to treat planeswalkers, which gives you some makes you very curious about that, because as you said, most places you go don't actually even know what a planeswalker is, let alone treat you with any sort of special status. They get you some food and some drink, but they seem a bit, they're not really concerned with giving you anything more than you can eat at the moment.
I still can't get a sword.
Well, do you want to ask about that, or?
No, not yet. I'll wait until I figure out what angle I have here.
Okay. As you're eating, the Leonin who approached you earlier introduces himself as a Krier, and he explains that he is the current elder of their settlement, which is called Embla, Embla, which I don't know why I'm spelling it, but
it helps me, so thank you.
He explains that he is their current elder, and the others all seem to give him deference a little bit when he wants to speak. He seems to be the one that does most of the speaking, but even he seems deferential to you, does not interrupt you as you ask any questions, and is extremely polite at all times. After you're done eating, he welcomes you back to his house, where you can stay the night, and he offers to try and answer any questions that you have.
So,
okay, cool.
When we go in, I ask Alaric asked the question, what can you tell us about the planeswalkers who have been here in the past?
He answers that, I'm not sure if I should do this in character or not. You can tell that this is a new experience for me too, so I guess I'll talk as though I was him, and I'll let you know if I'm breaking character. But I haven't actually seen any planeswalkers here in a little over 5 years. You are actually the first group to come through since I have been elder. I can't tell you a whole lot about the ones that have come before. We have always tried to greet you and others of your kind warmly as you pass through on your journeys.
So they don't really do much of anything while they're here? They just kind of stop in, have a bite to eat, and then leave?
It's a fueling station. Nice.
We direct them on their way. We start their journey. Some others I know had expressed some confusion as to why they started here instead of somewhere else, and from what I understand, this is simply where you appear. Some have called it the front door. But now that you are here, like every other planeswalker before you, we assume that you will be continuing on a journey through our land.
What have planeswalkers done in the past?
Once they have left here, we don't really have any communication with them. You have to understand that our world is one mostly consisting of a very deep wilderness. And the wilderness itself is said to change from time to time so as to confuse and disrupt communications between the various villages here. We know of other settlements, we know of other cities, but communication is very difficult because of the nature of our world, and thus we don't have one nation, we don't have one larger community. We see our role as put forth by the originator as to greet you here and send you on your way.
Interesting. Have the planeswalkers told you any cool stories?
We have heard some of their tales before. It is customary to receive some of their stories while they're here to regale us. Some of them have led very interesting lives.
Tell me about it. Jeez.
I can't tell. Go ahead.
Are there any things that you would like us to do while we are here?
Right now, our role is simply as ambassadors to help you on your way, although we must tell you that because we look up to you, because you are superior beings to us, it is our belief and our tradition that you do not need to take anything from this village to assist you on your journey. We are simply lower beings.
So, Chewie, the answer is no, you can't have a sword.
I'm never going to get a freaking sword.
We have only the means to defend ourselves. The food we pick from the trees, we consume ourselves. We take only what we need for the day, and then more is there tomorrow. So there is no need for you to worry about sustenance.
At this point, I'm going to lean over and whisper to my comrades, "We landed in the middle of a commune. It's like those Selesnya weirdos all over again."
The lean-in with the very sharp ears gives you a strange look when you mention Selesnya, but says nothing.
But at least the Selesnya weirdos had trade routes they could rely on.
Right? I can't even get a freaking sword.
Well, do my companions have any other questions?
What time is it?
It's getting fairly late, but he will answer one or two more of your questions if you have any. He, because of their culture, he will bend over backwards to make you guys comfortable. but he seems, I don't want to break character too much, but he doesn't seem to want to tell you a whole lot what you should do, because that's not his role.
Yeah.
Yep, because we're clearly superior. Yes.
All right. Well, I figure I might as well rest up so we can get back on our way tomorrow.
Agreed.
Okay.
Sure. Wait, is the sun gone down yet? Like, completely?
It's a sliver on the horizon. Why?
Okay, real quick, before I lose all visibility, I would like to fly up and, fairly high and get a sense of what's around.
Okay. You do have the ability to fly. I haven't written this into the rules exactly, but because you are a little tired from planeswalking before, and because the ability to fly is at least somewhat magical in nature while your wings suspend you, do me a favor and roll a d6 real quick.
6. Okay, hang on. That's this one. I rolled a 2. Never mind, I don't want to fly anyway.
Well, you do manage to hover. You manage to suspend yourself up off the ground a good couple feet. So you are
phenomenal cosmic power.
Because the buildings are so low. To give you an example, the buildings here are kind of adobe-like. You are able to.
Gotcha.
You are able to hover over the top of some of the buildings, and I'm assuming you're looking around, right? You want to get a sense of direction?
Yeah, I want to see if there's anything to see and anything I can...
Trees as far as the eye can see in each direction. There seems to be the beginnings of a path to the east of the village, which itself is on the eastern side of the crater.
I see. I was hoping to get up over the trees, but apparently I'm tired.
You're tired. And
Karim, this is all your fault.
These trees are also very tall, so...
Is it too late to ask another question, or is this one of those things where I'm tucking into bed and then I remember something I should have said much earlier?
You could get him out of bed, and he would answer your question, so...
Nah, that's fine.
No, go ahead and ask your question.
So do that while I'm flying, or not flying.
No, I'm not going to wake him up.
Okay.
He's just trying to get by.
Anybody want to take any further actions before you settle in?
No.
I do want to hit Karim in the back of the head, just lightly, just because.
A little hand slap in the back of the head.
This is all your fault.
Roll a d6.
What? I don't want to hurt him. Roll a 3.
He'll be fine. He'll score. All right.
He will never recover.
So let's take a quick break, and we'll be back to this in the morning. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And I will actually literally take a break at the moment. I'll be right back.
I hope the listeners appreciate it. I tracked down the Final Fantasy going to sleep music to put in right there. Yeah, that may be that one, and whatever one I can find.
There's a couple different ones, so. All right, well, if we're ready to get back to it, you wake up in the morning and you feel refreshed. You still don't have a sword, but otherwise you're good to go.
How about a pointed stick?
How about a banana?
There's actually no sticks on the ground. As you look around, you may notice that some of the trees that sticks were gathered from last night for firewood seem to have grown those same or very, very, very nearly identical twigs and branches right back where they were before.
Stupid magical trees. You can never make a good pointed stick out of magical trees.
You eat breakfast with the townspeople, so your supplies have not diminished whatsoever, and they gather to send you off. You see in the crowd the elder, whose name I moved away from. You see the elder.
It's like a Krier.
A Krier.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And standing next to him is an elf. And then everyone else is gathered around them. And they generally wish you well on your journey. Do you wish to do anything else while you're in town in this particular geographical location? Or do you want to ask them any questions or take any actions before you leave? Assuming you're going to leave. I mean, it's possible the party can just stay here for the rest of your natural lives. But the people seem to have indicated that you're supposed to be going on your way. That's what people do. They come, they eat, they leave. So
they're hinting very heavily at us to get the hell out, you guys.
a little bit. It's about 7 a.m. local time. So, and they are all gathered.
I don't have a sword I can't sleep in. It's a good thing I'm naturally beautiful.
Well, I mean, my curiosity is satisfied for the moment. I'm ready to head out if y'all are.
I am as well ready to head out.
Sure, why not?
Okay, well,
thanks everybody.
I'm gonna break character just for once. I probably should just let this go.
You should.
It's our first time. It's our first time, and I want to remind you of something we discussed before we got started, which was how you gain new mana sources. So before you leave the area, that's something that each one of you can do once a day. Now, you don't have to do it here. Generally, the process is consuming enough that if you do it here, you won't be able to do it anywhere else you go today. So I'm not saying you have to do it, but if you want to do it, I can walk you through it.
We'll come back later.
What sort of mana would that give us? A green mana?
The mana here, if you were to add this to your mana sources, if you call it forth, Embla will add 1 mana of any type basic lands you already control could produce. So it's not going to open up any new colors for you, but for each of you it would essentially be another mana source. And then later down the line it could also be a potential duel.
So, does doing this now cost us anything that might bite us later? Since you haven't actually told us
it means you can't use it to get a second source of whatever other colors you pick up later if we come back. So I'm assuming you can only bond to a place once, right?
You only bond to a place once, but when you call it, it has that attribute. It's basically a reflecting pool.
Oh, okay. So you're saying...
Should I have just said it's a reflecting pool?
Yes, you should have.
It's a reflecting pool.
Okay.
Oh.
Is this mana permanent?
I thought you meant when you bonded to it, it was one of something you already had.
Right. No. If I was unclear, that's my fault. I'm the guide on this. I can't blame you for not understanding my really simple English words.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
So, is this mana permanent, or is this just for the day?
It would not. It would be permanent. It's basically
it goes in your list.
It goes in your list.
Okay.
Okay, well, Brian is hinting awful hard that we should probably do this, so let's go ahead and knock one out.
Yeah,
let's give the rubes.
I guess watching these guys do it reminded me. Oops, I should have done this. So
yeah, let's give the rubes a show, shall we?
All right, so you can attempt it now. Each one of you can attempt it one at a time. It's not an automatic process. You basically got to. I don't want to sound hippie but you've got to align your energy basically with the land to pull it out.
Well, we're hanging out with a bunch of hippies, so
let the Louis in, man.
Here's how this is going to work. For each one of you, one at a time, you're going to roll a d6, and for each one of you that's attempting it, I will also roll a d6. And if for this, these numbers vary, and different places require different things.
Just tell us whether we won or lost. That's fine.
Basically, it's whether or not the numbers come close enough to each other. I'll tell you if you won or lost.
Okay.
So,
God damn it!
So who's going to go
dropping
first?
my headset. I'm so sorry. Well, since I'm the pretty one, I'll go first.
Okay, and remember, if you don't get it this time, you can try again tomorrow.
Yeah, when I wake up.
All right, so roll a d6.
And I got a foe. That's
All
4
right.
for you normal people.
That's close enough to my roll, so you can add Embla to your list.
So let's see. I have 3 planes and 1 Embla.
Yep.
Yay!
Okay.
Yay.
I'm
Next.
awesome. Your turn, losers.
I'll let you go for next, Mike.
All right. I got a 2.
All right. That is unfortunately not close enough. So
How did I know that?
I feel
said,
bad. I do feel bad. I was like, watch him miss it, and sure enough. So for whatever reason, you're not able to draw the mana from this land. So
I bet something that they fed you for breakfast disagreed with you slightly.
you really shouldn't have had so many eggs. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's not when we're about to travel. Jeez.
Probably just because I grew up a screw up.
Kareem, you're lucky I don't have a sword.
All right. I rolled a 1.
That is close enough. So Dirk got it too. All right.
This game rules.
I smell a trend here.
All right. Give me just 1 second. BRB, like 2 seconds.
And reflecting pool.
I feel like
reflecting pool is whatever.
It gives you one of any type you already have.
Okay.
So if you learn some blue mana later, then it can give you one of either. I feel like I should challenge the strongest to a wrestling match or something, but I'm afraid that Brian's head would explode, so I'm not going to do that. Itching for a fight, though.
I can tell yours is a very agitated.
You can pretend it's one of the honored rituals on the plane you come from. Our tradition when leaving a place is to whoop the ass of the strongest man.
Which of you pansies will step up?
All right, I apologize. Carrie had a question, so it has nothing to do with any of this.
I was going to say, what did she roll?
She rolls 20s, so...
That's why dinner's always delicious.
All right, so all of you, well, not all of you, 2 of you succeeded, 1 of you did not, but, so it goes. Anything else you want to do while you're in town, or are you ready to head out?
What do you think, Mike? Should I go for it?
Probably not.
Okay, never mind. Yeah, we're good.
I do have rules for if you want to attack the townsfolk.
No. Don't worry about it. We're good.
Okay. All right. Now I need to ask you, first of all, as you're getting ready to leave, what direction you want to head in?
Let's try to go to Tarkir again. Might as well get back on the way.
Oh, you want to try and planeswalk away?
Yeah.
You fail.
Dang it. It was worth a shot.
Hey, Karim, you're still here.
All right, I should point. You attempt to planeswalk, and you look visibly frustrated when you're unable to do so. Upon seeing your frustration, the Elder expresses some confusion over that, says that most of the planeswalkers here begin a journey to go see the originator, and most tend to leave in a southeasterly direction.
Okay.
Other than that, he has if you try and ask him anything more about that, as much as he knows about planeswalkers, he doesn't really know how they function or why they function. So he can't tell you how
I figured that much. Okay, thanks. I misunderstood what you meant when you were telling us that story the other day. I thought people just showed up and left. But
left the village.
Left in the way that we leave.
Got it.
It's a fair question because, I apologize if I was unclear, or maybe the townspeople were unclear, or maybe you didn't ask the right questions, I don't know. But, no.
Okay, well,
Is the originator a planeswalker, or are you just going to point us in the direction and say, have a nice journey?
You're asking the Elder this question?
I'm asking the Elder this question word for word, yes.
The nature of the originator is largely unknown to us. Some people revere him as a deity. We simply know to follow his instructions, and we are left well enough alone and are rewarded with the bounty of this place. Blah, blah, blah. Sorry.
Sounds like a despot.
So I was just laughing at the left well enough alone, wondering about who he was talking about. As long as God doesn't come over here and bother me every day.
That's basically his answer. This is a very isolationist society, and not through their choosing.
They're
all right, well.
Welcome to our village now. Get the hell out.
Little bit.
Get out.
Little bit.
Well, then, I guess we should get out of their hair, then.
Yeah.
So, having failed miserably at planeswalking away, is there a direction on foot that you'd prefer to leave the village?
Hey, Karim, you can't. You can't form new bonds. You can't planeswalk. You're just useless.
You just wait till tomorrow. I'm going to do a lot better.
Okay. Didn't you say there was a path that sort of started to lead off towards the east?
Sort of started, but again, remember that it ends pretty quickly in the forest. But yeah, it's in a southeasterly direction. Yes.
Oh, so that's the same path.
Yeah. There's only the one path.
Okay, got it. I thought there was a southeast path and an east path. All right.
I mean, you could conceivably go in any direction. Conceivably.
Well, since I don't have a sword, I don't really want to go the hardest direction till I get something to slice people up with. So I guess we can go the easy way if it's okay with you guys.
Follow the path.
Well, yeah, unless you plan on carrying us, then.
I am not going to.
All right.
You.
So now we get to leaving. So
thanks again, everybody.
So what I'm going to ask first is anytime you're going to move from one location to another, there's a couple steps. And the first thing is, if I'm assuming you're all traveling together, if somebody wanted to split off, they could split off. If the angel gets ticked at the boys, she can make her own way. But if you're all traveling together, then I'm going to ask who's leading, simply because if they're leading, they're going to be the one that's going to apply any bonuses.
Well, as useless as he is, he is good in the wilderness, so we should let Karim lead.
Okay.
Yes.
So Karim is leading, and you are attempting to go. The path bends southern first. You want to follow the path, is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Okay. All right. So what I'm going to do.
The wilderness may be screwing with us with the way it changes around.
All right.
It's the only thing we have to go by.
Yes. And we'll get into that in just a second. I'm going to have to roll a die or two here, and then I'll fill you in on what sort of area you're entering. I need to borrow one of these and this, and you successfully leave the village. Congratulations. Good job, Mike.
About time you did something right.
All right.
Always said red mana was not to be trusted. No offense. Not much.
Not taken because I'm not really listening.
I'm sorry, what?
Exactly. All right. You follow the path in a southern direction. It ends quickly, but you find yourself in a forest glen. You look around. There's nothing here that immediately jumps out to your attention. There are trees in every which direction, but nothing seems to be attacking you at the moment. Congratulations. So
nothing seems to be.
Nothing seems.
The reality of the situation.
You do note the trees around you seem a bit peculiar in a way that you can't really put your finger on. But there's no creatures here, dangerous or otherwise. You can take a moment to relax if you want, but you did just get started, so do you want to conduct any actions here, or do you want to keep moving?
I do have a question that is actually meant in all seriousness.
Sure.
Where are the Cheetos? Like, usually when you go out into the wilderness, you find Cheetos. They're little, like, forest critters that are on some obscure plane that I've been to in the past. I don't know what you're thinking. But there aren't any critters. Like, we're in a forest.
You're in a forest, and there's no critters, is what
there's no... This is odd.
A little bit, huh? Yeah.
Like, listen, do you smell that? No. Oh, jeez. Listen, do you hear that? You don't hear anything. Do you hear anything there, Alaric? How do you pronounce your name again? I know we've been friends for years, but...
Alaric and Karim. Do you guys smell anything?
Yeah, you're a monk. Do you hear anything? You're all
I don't hear anything.
Stuff. See? This is awkward.
You actually don't detect any nearby sounds, any smells, except for the smells of the trees and the undergrowth.
And Karim.
And Karim.
The smell of failure and shame.
Well, okay, now that I've pointed that out, I'm good to go.
You've been walking for a couple hours to get into this point. But again, nothing's jumped out at you or anything, so.
So
but the path has ended, so.
Path has ended? Oh, okay. Huh. So that was the only obvious path beaten in or out of this glen?
Yes. And in fact, the path ended a little while ago, but you saw the glen up ahead. So you try looking around. There's no discernible paths anywhere.
Hey, Angie, can you fly up a bit and check it out?
Call me Angie. You're so lucky I don't have a sword.
And the minute you get a sword, I will stop calling you Angie.
Angie, roll as D6.
I got a 3 again.
That's a little higher than last time. Does
it get me over the trees?
You're able to fly slightly over the top of the lowermost trees. Looking in all directions, you can see the beginning of the clearing toward the crater where Elba is. And as you look to the east, you think you see something over there where there's a space. You can't see what's in the space, but you think you see a spot where the trees
like a clearing.
Yes. Every other direction you see just trees from where you are now and at that height.
Well, great. All right. Then, hey guys, it's that way.
Okay, cool.
Don't you want to know what's that way?
Well, why don't you come down and tell us?
I don't know. There's just a clearing over there, so we should go that way.
All right, yeah, it's as good a way as any.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I was up there. It's the best way.
All right. So are you moving on then?
Yes.
We are moving on.
Okay. So I'm assuming Karim is still leading. You can tell me if that changes. If somebody gets fed up, like Angie gets tired of being called Angie, and
oh my god.
Or and I just need to know again the compass direction that you're heading.
East, right?
You said it was east, yeah.
It is east. I just have, I'm giving you every chance to mess up. So, okay.
Exits are north, south, and Dennis.
Get you flat.
All right. So I.
Due to my character's past history on Innistrad, my character is going to move very cautiously.
All right. I need to roll 2 die here. I just want to make sure.
Yeah, because on Innistrad, correct me if I'm wrong there, Al, but on Innistrad, usually when all of the wildlife
stops
silences,
anything, that usually means a bad thing's about to happen.
Yeah, it means we're about to get eaten by werewolves or something, right?
So,
yes.
You guys are about to get eaten by werewolves.
Mike, your trekking bonus is 1, correct?
My trekking bonus is 1, and I guess overhearing these guys' conversation, I want you to know that my stealth bonus is 2.
Okay. Yeah. All right.
Nice.
Well, the good news is I've rolled and applied your bonus. The good news, I have to look at this while you're in the forest. The good news is you are, in fact, moving in a discernibly east direction. So that's good. Because you can get turned around pretty easily in here.
Mm-hmm.
And you walk for a good while until you come into a dear Lord. Scroll down. Ooh.
Oh.
You're walking for some time, and then just as you're coming to another minor clearing in a rocky sort of area, you see something in front of you. And I need that die. Where's that die? Okay, all right. It's asleep. That's good. You come across a gorilla pack. A 3/3 pack of gorillas. It's counted as only one creature. They're close enough together, I suppose. And it's actually asleep. It's in the middle of a small rocky-type area. You can clearly see the forest beyond it continuing to the east as well as in every other direction. You have a clear sense of where you've been, and there's no other objects lying around, just this pack o' gorillas. So I will tell you that you can attack them directly. It is a 3/3, and you would actually get the first move, and it would take a little while to wake up. Or if you decide that maybe you just don't want to go killing the first living thing you've come across because it's asleep, any of your stealth attempts will automatically be successful as long as you don't roll a critical failure. So, or you can take another action if you really want, and unless you're going to wake it up, you'll be safe.
Yeah,
But I will tell you it's aggressive. So
random gorilla murder isn't really my thing. So
Hey, Karim.
Yes.
Do you think I should run up and give the gorilla a noogie?
Well,
I don't think that.
if you only had a sword.
The only reason I'm not yelling at you is because I don't want to wake up the gorilla.
Mm-hmm. Whatever you say, Angie.
Is this the clearing you saw, or did you see something further off? You think this is it?
Is this the first clearing we came to?
This is the first minor clearing you've come to, but it does not look to be large enough to be whatever you saw. Whatever you saw, the trees simply just weren't there. It was a sizable space.
No, I don't think this is it. I think we've just stumbled onto their chill spot.
Nest or whatever. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Let's just keep going.
Yeah. We'll just sneak past, and for God's sake, don't step on one of the non-existent twigs. Why are there no twigs? This place is weird.
There are in fact no twigs here.
See?
The gorillas must have taken them and fashioned them into pointed sticks.
Oh, those bastards.
So,
Well, if only you could find a sharp rock.
so are all of you attempting to sneak past the sleeping gorillas?
Yes.
Yes.
And the only one with a stealth bonus is Karim, so I'll go ahead and roll for Karim first. And I'll drop the die. Oh, but it was successful. All right, then I'll do Alaric. Good job, you did not wake them up. And then finally the angel.
Oh, Jesus.
You got past. At one point, a gorilla reached up and swatted at something in front of its face, but then it went back to sleep. So you are now on the other edge of the clearing. Do you want to do anything else before you want to move on, or do you want to keep heading to the east? I will tell you that at this point, it is past midday.
I mean, ordinarily I'd say we should grab a bite, but I really don't want to wake up any nearby gorillas.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think you can chew quietly?
Have you heard my jaw?
We can have some handfuls of snack from the rations pouch as we move.
Okay. Well, you can definitely do
That's
that.
true. We can eat while we walk, can't we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just
All
as long as they're not Cheetos.
No, I wouldn't eat those. They don't cook well.
All right. Then if you're going to be moving on, and Karim is still in the lead, then... Okay.
He's got to be good for something.
Exactly one thing. Walking in front.
Also known as bait. I mean, I love you, bait. Karim.
Here we go.
While we're walking along here, did you guys get a sense of what it was that kicked us out of the Blind Eternities in the first place?
No.
I don't know. It felt like this huge, I don't know what to describe it as. A huge, a big ass, rushing past us.
So have you guys ever met Jace Beleren?
I've heard of him.
I think it was his ego.
All right. You're trying to move in an easternly direction, although the forest itself seems intent on almost throwing you off your direction. Some of the trees start to look more familiar than they should while you're wandering, and things start to feel like you're getting a bit of a sense of deja vu. In the middle of the woods, you come across a small lake. You look around. You don't see anything in the lake that could eat you or try to eat you. You don't see any fish in the lake either. You look at the water looks like it's perfectly clear.
Don't drink the water.
Are there any small stones I could skip across it just to see what happens?
There is a small stone. You want to skip it?
Yes, please.
Do you have a D4?
Yes, I have a D4.
Roll a D4.
I don't have a D4. Why don't I have a D4?
I rolled a 1 on the D4.
You try and skip it, but it drops right in at the first attempt.
Bloop.
You dunk it like a basketball. Good job.
Is the rock in one piece?
The rock does not dissipate. Nothing seems to be mystical or out of the ordinary about the lake.
Oh, okay, good.
It does not make the rock scream in agony. His aim just kind of sucks. So
about how big is the lake? You said it was a big lake.
Did I say big?
I can't remember, actually. I just made that up.
Small.
Yeah, he said small.
Okay.
It's about 20 feet across. and it's about 5 feet deep at its lowest point. So it's like a small swimming pool.
Oh.
Water's perfectly clear. You can see there doesn't seem to be any wildlife growing in it at all, including algae.
Don't drink the water.
Yeah, I guess let's just go around.
Yeah, this is too weird.
All right.
This
I
is
say
some
we go around.
This is some SimCity stuff right here.
Take away the ladder.
Not the Sims, but okay.
All right. Do you want to keep moving? At this point, the day is definitely on the how you say the long side. The day is well over halfway over, and the sun is starting to set slightly. You want to keep moving for now?
Oh, that's a good question. Do we want to keep moving, or should we camp out by the lake or the pond, rather?
That lake gives me the heebie-jeebies, but I also don't know if I want to.
Be in the woods.
Yeah, start walking through these woods that are starting to look eerily the same as if someone copied a piece of it and dropped it again.
Mm-hmm.
So this is up to you guys. Clearly, I can fight whatever we run into.
Anyway, so
I didn't hear a word you said. I was talking over you.
I noticed.
So what did you said?
It's probably going to look different when we wake up anyway, so, you know.
That is a good point. So, yeah, okay, should we hang out here then?
Yeah. Take a break.
Alaric, are you also sticking around?
I guess I'll stick around.
Okay, he sounded almost like he wanted to go off on his own, so. Okay.
I am not sleeping next to the lake, though. If something comes out of that, it's going to get one of you guys first.
There's nothing in it. Come on, it's fine.
I am too pretty to be sucked into some magical pond.
Okay, fine.
All right, now I need to know how far everybody's sleeping from the pond.
Tell you
How
what,
far away is the tree line from the edge of the pond?
The tree line is about 6 feet away from the edge of the pond. In most directions, 7 feet away in a northern direction.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that doesn't give us very much.
No.
I was gonna plant like midway between the tree line and the pond, but it doesn't really matter if there's only 6 feet between it.
Yeah, I guess I'm leaning up against a tree.
Yeah.
Okay, nothing happens. You pass the night restfully, and you recover your strength. You're good from not fighting that gorilla after all. So the night passes uneventfully. Although you do notice, and you don't really hear any wildlife during the night either. So,
do we hear gorillas moving around?
You do not hear gorillas moving around in the mist or otherwise.
Did we just leave a village, walk for several hours, come up on a gorilla pack that was asleep in the middle of the day without hearing or seeing anything else, and then make it all the way here without hearing or seeing anything else? Guys, am I losing my mind here? Something about this place is weird.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just a little bit. I mean, you are recalling events as they occurred. So, you wake up in the morning, you feel refreshed, a little hungry, but otherwise ready to go.
All right, I'm going to try to bond with the land.
The pond looks exactly the same.
I never thought I'd be so weirded out by a lack of Cheetos.
All right, Angie, you need to fly up and tell us which way we need to go.
Oh, wait a minute, I want to laugh at Karim as he fails to bond with the land again.
No, it's going to work this time.
Oh, okay.
Is Karim going to bond with the land?
Yes.
Okay. Well, this area is basically a basic forest.
Okay.
So, and your character is not green, so you'll have a little. It won't be quite as easy for you to do it, but you can give it a shot.
All right, it's going to work. I can feel it. I rolled a 6.
You did it. You have formed a bond with a basic forest. Good job.
Awesome. Told you guys.
So
wait a minute, we can have access to colors that aren't our own?
You can, although you won't be able to just jump in right away and say, okay, I know how to do giant growth now. You formed a connection with it, and you can certainly tap it for mana and use it, but the ability to actually use spells of that color will still take a while to develop.
Gotcha.
So if we already connected ourselves with Elba, then can we do it here?
That was yesterday. This is a brand new day.
And we're in a different geographic location.
Yes.
Okay.
A different enough place, yeah.
It's a different enough place that yes.
Oh, word. Well, you know what? Since if he can do it, then surely I can do it. I'm going to try again.
All right, give me 1 second. Or you can go ahead.
I also rolled a 6. I'm gonna fail.
You failed.
Yep. Well, you know what? I don't need freaky weird still pond green mana anyway.
Dirk, if you want to try, you'll actually have an easier job of it than the others because you're already green, so...
All right.
That's right.
I rolled a 2.
You succeeded. You now have access to 4 forests.
Of course, the green guy is ramping harder.
Yeah, so far, Dirk has 5 sources of mana, and each of you have 4. So, all right.
Sounds about right.
Yeah.
Now, were you in the middle of telling the angel what to do?
Yes. Fly higher. Tell us which way is the way we should go.
By all means, let me do it.
That's right.
You
Angie.
fools would fly up here and do. Oh, I threw my D6 off the back. Where'd it go? Dang it! Hang on. Someone roll a
giant
fucking
bag of dice on the table.
Find it. I don't have my headset on, so I can't hear you, but I can't. It's not here. No.
You didn't have another one? Oh, he just said he can't hear us.
Oh.
Don't screw up this time.
Okay, sorry. It
That was
actually
the only one you had? There weren't any more in your bag?
The only D6, yeah. I didn't get any more out of the bag, and I was hoping I could look at it and see how it rolled, but it rolled down, bounced off the beast, and rolled under the desk. So let me... Hey, I rolled a 6!
All right. You feel a sudden rush of energy as you just vault directly into the sky and come to rest several stories over some of the nearest trees. You look around and you find yourself depressingly close to Embla, closer actually than you were before the last time you checked. It looks like the woods have gotten the better of you. But nevertheless, now that you are much higher, you can see directly to the east from your current location. What looked like a clearing before, you could just see that the trees weren't there, is now clearly a large body of water with an island and a settlement in the middle of the island. Directly due east exactly from where you are.
So due east... Okay, so due west would be Embla.
West is Embla, exactly.
And it's closer than we were.
It's closer than you've been basically since you started.
But east, how far away is that compared to how close Embla is?
It's further to the lake with the island than it is to Embla. It's hard to say exactly how much further, but it's not significantly further.
I see. Okay, so I'm gonna drop back down and be like, okay, guys.
Yes.
Karim, this is all your fault. It has to be. Except, I don't think it can be. But, so, you know how we left Embla yesterday morning?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It's like right over there. It's like right over there. Like, we've been walking in circles. But we were able to make out some sunlight, and we were going in at least mostly the right direction yesterday, right?
Yeah, we were. I'm sure we were.
So okay, but also, that way, a little bit further off, but the way we've been going since yesterday, there's an island with a settlement on it.
Okay.
Okay, well, I mean...
So, how... I told you I didn't like this place.
Well, I'm not really surprised based on what the Elder told us yesterday.
You want to try and planeswalk away?
What the Elder didn't tell us. You know what? I am sick of it being here. I'm walking away. I'm going to try to get back to Ravnica.
You fail.
And start over. And it didn't work. Damn it.
No, I mean, it's a legitimate question because you might have originally thought that simply being around the crater was what was blocking your abilities. But nope.
You know what? I wish I had a sword. So, should we go back to Embla and ask him what the hell? Or should we go back...
No, he told us that the wilderness moves around and confuses people.
There's a difference between the wilderness moving around and confusing people and us being closer to the village than when we started.
Well, the pond moved, obviously.
And the thing is that they sent us on this journey. They're not going to give us any additional help.
That's true. It's like talking to an innkeeper again.
Yeah, you don't want to roll back up into town looking stupid, do you?
Look, I'm the hot one. They'll forgive me.
Okay, I don't want to roll back into town looking stupid.
Fine.
There, you got me.
Well, I suppose we keep going that way, because stuff's over there now. I hate this plane.
Well, just make sure that that Mike needs to use his tracking skills to make sure that we're still traveling east, and if at any time we feel like we're not, we need to stop.
All right, so you're moving east, is that correct?
That's towards the island, right?
Or you're attempting to move east.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Exit Dennis.
Okay. You start in what appears to be an easterly direction.
What appears to be an easterly direction.
Oh,
And you come to a riverbank. It appears to be close to the lake that the angel saw from the air. This is a part of a river that seems to feed into that larger body of water. And as you are looking around, a merfolk seer pops its head out of the water and greets you.
Hello.
Hello, travelers.
you almost scared the wings off of me.
I have that effect on women sometimes, it says with a playful smile.
Oh god, I just got hit on by a fish.
This is the type of merfolk, by the way, that is not bipedal. It must remain in the water because it has a tail. But it does seem to be looking you over rather suspiciously. Would you care to have your fortunes told?
That depends. What'll it cost us?
Well, that depends. How much do you have?
I don't even have a sword.
Why don't you just tell us how much a fortune costs? I'm interested.
Oh, you're interested, are you? It says, rearing up a bit of a gleam in its eye. Well, then, I suppose I could read your fortune for 3 gold.
Like one apiece?
A piece.
For
For a fortune. Or if you don't like it, I can just wish you on your day. And it turns to leave.
Okay, wait a minute.
So 1 gold piece each?
No, 3.
No, three gold
3
pieces
each. Okay.
So, wait a minute, dude. Is there any sort of anything my spiritual awareness can detect?
What's your bonus?
You've got my character sheet. I don't. 1.
Alright. I'm gonna roll a 12.
Should have done this sooner.
Wow, you actually got a critical awareness on this. You can tell that there is nothing at all honest or truthful about this merfolk.
Guys, I have a really bad feeling about this, and not just in the fortune telling is nonsense way. Like, I feel that there's something up with this guy. Fish guy. He flirted with me. That is not coloring my feelings, though, I promise.
You aren't even the least bit curious, though?
I'm telling you, he's just gonna take our gold and tell us some nonsense and swim off.
I can see that you're all disagreeing a little bit. Would you like to see a little bit of what I can do before you make your decision? And the merfolk obviously starts pulling mana to the surface. Do you want to take any action before it does anything else?
Hey, free sample.
I would like to assume a defensive stance just in case. And maybe hide behind Karim.
You worry too much.
Since he's a sucker.
I'll stand with Karim and see what happens.
With him or beside him? Like where are you in location?
I will stand beside of Karim.
Beside him. All right. Come
party
closer.
wipe. Good game, everyone.
Yay!
Come closer if you wish to see what I can do.
Yeah, sure.
I am not coming closer. I can see fine from where I'm at, thanks.
I'll
You
walk up
see,
and take a look.
I can already tell you, his voice says rather soothingly, I can tell you the day that you will die. It just so happens that day is today. And as he finishes speaking, he launches a volley of ice at the closest person, which would be Karim.
I would like to use my deduce truth skill to see if he is telling the truth.
By ice. However, it appears that he wasn't expecting someone with your fortitude, and you take all of 1 damage to your toughness.
Yay.
Merfolk looks a bit shocked at this. It's like, why didn't that work? You're supposed to be dead. Does anybody want to do anything? The merfolk is stunned at the moment.
I thought you said we had to determine whose turn it is if we're going into combat. And what order we get to do stuff.
Because okay, and that's my fault for not, because this is more of a fluid situation. The person that's closest to the merfolk, let's say Karim, you can go ahead and take an action, followed by Alaric, followed by the angel.
Well, since we still don't have any swords, I think it's punching time.
Punching time, all right?
Punch him in his stupid fish head.
So, all right, let's see. So you're a 3/2. You're not calling any mana. You're just going to go ahead and punch him in the face.
Yeah, the punch.
All right. There's a little bit of water between you, so I need to look at this real quick. Oh yeah. The fish rears up. The merfolk rears up in an attempt to get away when it sees you getting closer. Again, obviously stunned by the fact that it's amazing magic did not fell you on the spot. Before it can get away, you grab it by the shoulder and punch it so hard that it just kind of collapses on its head kind of collapses on itself. So, good job, Karim.
Ew.
Ew.
What's it got in its pockets?
Good Lord, man. I thought I was the bloodthirsty one.
It did have a pouch with a.
It's not my fault his head is made out of marshmallow.
It did have a pouch with about 10 gold pieces, some of which are covered in blood.
Is it his blood?
No.
Ooh, that's not cool. I told you I had a bet. Didn't I tell you not to fool with this character?
How many gold
try
pieces?
to clean them off in the river real quick.
Did I just say 10 gold pieces? So,
yes.
Congratulations. Yeah. Are you taking the gold pieces?
Yeah, I'm going to try to clean them off in the river a bit first.
Okay. All right, so you're now up to 27 gold pieces. Because you did not give the fake trickster seer who the angel said, hey, don't trust, and you punched it in the face, any of your money. Congratulations. You just survived your first encounter. And I apologize for not making it a little clear. The problem was a lot of the things that you're going to see here are going to be like coming at you or asleep. This was one that actually wanted to do a sneak attack. From what you can gather, it simply wasn't used to dealing with planeswalkers or people of any magical skill whatsoever, because the attack that merely dealt Karim 1 damage could have very easily felled a normal human passerby. So,
look at that. Hey, you know what that means? That means you're not good for nothing.
Yeah. It also means
I'm most
that
proud of you.
It also means that other people do travel through the woods here.
Oh yeah, because there wouldn't be a business set up to take advantage of them if there was nobody there.
Yeah.
That's true.
Sure.
All right. Let's should we follow the river and keep our
follow the river?
being strong?
Move down river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. You can, from this vantage point, you can clearly see where the river meets up with the lake, and in the middle of the lake there is the island. So you do have because the river does twist a bit, there is one trekking action to check. So Karim the Bloody Fisted still leading the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Karim
Let me
Bloodfist.
just check this. Oh yeah, you succeed that with grace and style. You find your way to the edge of the river where there's a bridge leading onto the island. And as you cross, you are greeted by several humans and a few Vidalcan who all wish you well and welcome you to the city-state of Elda. Not Elda. Hold on, where's the thing? Of Edda. E-D-D-A. For those that are keeping track.
Did you guys know that there was some merfolk scammer that tried to kill us upriver, that way?
A merfolk hears you ask the question. Did I say merfolk? A Vidalcan hears you ask the question.
Here we go.
Raise attention.
A Vidalcan hears you ask the question and says, "Oh, did someone finally take care of that man, of that merfolk? He was a menace to our society."
Yes, sir, I did.
That's one way to put it.
We
The
all look at
Karim.
Karim and go, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The Vidalcan clasps Karim on the shoulder and says, "Then you are welcome here anytime. Welcome to Edda, the city and center of knowledge on Trivester and home of the greatest library in the land. If you are truly the one that felled that merfolk, please, when you get to the city, ask for my friend. His name is Scroll Up. His name is
Roll up. Got it.
Erideth.
Aerodeth. Okay.
Erideth.
Death. Okay.
Erideth.
Whatever.
Upon hearing his words, you travel into the city, and I think that's probably a good place to stop for now, given the time and where you are and what will happen. Well, next time.
Am I getting any experience for that? Did I get any experience for that?
For watching like bunch of merfolk and
For pointing out, for noticing that he shouldn't have been messing with him in the first place.
Here's what we'll do. Every couple days, or every time we have a session, rather than having a strict amount of experience points, I thought we would look at what skills were used, what you actually did, and go and level you up kind of that way. So let's start with the angel. The angel, I'm going to go ahead and give you a +1 to your flying rolls because you flew all over creation. Every 5 minutes you were flying up to check where you were. And I'm also going to increase your spiritual awareness by 1 to 2 because you were like, that guy. No. So I'm going to give you those bonuses.
I would also like to take this opportunity after the Vidalcan turns away to clip Karim in the back of the head again.
You got to roll for that.
Oh, sorry. Hang on.
Go ahead, roll.
Was that a 6?
Yeah.
Oh, Lord. I almost dropped it off. It's a 4.
And he was never the same again.
He's actually going to be feeling that one for a while. Good job.
That's what you get. Listen to me when I tell you things.
Well, at least his head didn't cave in.
How's your curiosity now?
Feels 10 gold richer. Thank you very much.
Dirk, for Alaric, I'm going to... Let's see.
Yeah, hell yeah.
I'm like, I
Got a
don't
bunch
think
of
he really
mana.
did anything. So.
Yeah, Dirk ramped.
Yeah, the only thing
Dirk
I just
basically
got
ramped. It's no offense to Dirk whatsoever, but I'm not going to give him any new skills right now.
That's fine.
Mike, Kareem gained the skill Bare Fist 1, which...
Awesome.
Uh-huh. Cave in someone's skull.
That'll do it.
In someone's skull. And I'm giving you a bonus to your tracking. So your tracking bonus goes from 1 to 2.
Wait,
Tracking or
tracking or trekking?
Trekking, not tracking. Because you didn't track down anything. You had the social skill Deduce Truth, and you didn't use it, at all. So
I tried when the merfolk said I was going to die today.
When there was a piece of a sharp bolt of ice coming at your face, yeah, okay. That's a good time to try.
But I'm not going to give you a penalty for that now. So, congratulations, you got 10 more gold. So,
okay, that's interesting. So there will be times when you say you never use this skill, you're out of practice. -1.
A little bit, yeah. So again, let me just take a moment and tell you guys and the listeners, because I do want to put the materials out, that I am viewing this as a fluid project. And first of all, we can go back and change rules. I mean, you guys can't, but I can. We as a group. So there's certain things we did today that we may go back later and say that didn't really work. So that's that. Second of all, yes, I did give these guys levels when we started, and we will get into that later. But my goal here is not to create the next D&D with a hard set of rules. My goal is to create an experience for them that hopefully everybody else can take and use if they want, and they can add or subtract as they want. So I don't want anybody getting really frustrated if they're not able to follow, because I'm trying to be clear, but at the same time, my goal is to create a positive experience for us first with a set of rules that we can all kind of count on, but not to have a 50-page rule book that I'm referring to all the time. Right now it's only 25 pages. So that actually wasn't a joke, that last part. But
And growing.
All right, so we're done. When we pick it up next time, you will be in the city of Edda. So what do you think?
Awesome.
I think a really good start.
You guys did not do terribly. I will tell you now, you only actually took one wrong turn, which is why you ended up closer to the settlement. But you didn't do terrible. So
There are no wrong turns in life, Brian.
oh yes, there are. And there are stupid questions, but you didn't ask any of those.
I did ask where are the Cheetos, but then I made up a thing that could be what Cheetos are. They're little forest critters.
Mike, what do you think? Your guy's getting picked on a lot.
No, that's fine. I think it's very interesting, and it'll help us to do this more because then we can practice more and just get better at doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because of us, how many of us have ever done any sort of tabletop RPGing?
I have.
I did once.
I've never done it.
So basically just Mike then.
Yeah.
Basically.
Nice. Cool. All right then. So be sure to let us know what you think. Bear in mind, Brian's new at this. We're all new at this. Whatever.
Let us know if this was fun to listen to, because it was fun for me to do, but if it's miserable to listen to, then,
I do enjoy picking on Karim, though.
You did.
I can tell.
Jerk. If you hadn't cost me my sword in Ravnica. Was that during the romp on Ravnica? Oh, that's an old joke.
Yeah, that is. But it's very topical.
All right. Like cream. All right, then. So, how about some final thoughts, then, Dorks?
I thought it was pretty good. I'm, as with Brian, this is a little bit of a new experience and everything. It feels similar to what my recollection of D&D and all that was. I'm hoping that the next time I get to be a little bit more of an active member in the group, aside from sort of throwing out my 2 cents and everything.
Yeah, I did notice that, and I felt kind of bad for it that it was mainly just me and Chewie doing all the talking.
I ask questions.
Sometimes you need that other person there to be the sounding board, though, to be waiting for you guys to finish up your nonsense and say what you've done.
Mm-hmm.
Waiting for us to make a mistake so we can strike.
Yeah, be like,
that's another way to look at it. But
oh, Mike got ow, my arm, and then Alaric comes out and does lightning punch to the face. Because that was when I was like, I'm gonna bare fist. I have bare fist 1. I'm gonna try and crush this person's skull.
Mike beat you to
Mike
it.
beat me to the punch.
You know why? It's because merfolk live in the water, so they're mushy.
This one was, apparently.
This one was clearly mushy in other ways. Jerk. I told you not to listen to him. Aren't you curious? Shut up.
We could have learned so much about our future.
like how he wanted to kill you?
That would have been good to know.
Yes. Oh my god.
I think you found that out. I'm just impressed that the first time you guys came across anything, it was a gorilla sleeping in the woods.
I'm like, let's scoot around this little bad boy.
I really wanted to give him a noogie, but they talked me out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Noogie. All right, who's next with the thoughts of the finality?
That's usually me. I don't really know that I have any final thoughts. This was fun for me. I hope everybody else enjoyed it. And while we almost certainly won't be doing it next week because of Eldritch Moon, you know me, I love previews. I'm always like, yay, previews. So, good times. I will say this, I said it during the odds and ends, but if you have not read, you the listener or anybody else, have not read this week's Magic Fiction on the Magic website, I forget what they call it now, but the one that goes up on Wednesdays, you need to read it because first of all, it's really well told, I feel. And second of all, it feels like it's really important. This is a story they have been held off on telling us the whole time when you've been wondering what's going on in Innistrad and why. This is why this is happening. We don't know exactly how she's doing it yet, talking about Nahiri, but we know why she's doing it. And even I, who was a bit of a holdout before, was like, I don't know if this fits with her character. Now it all makes perfect sense. There's literally a point in the story, about halfway through, where I saw where it was going, and I said, out loud, to myself, and there's nobody else around, I said, oh, no, they didn't. It was that good. Mike knows exactly what I'm talking about.
Right.
So, if you haven't read it, you should read it. Yeah, that's my final thought. Oh, and I guess for the next 15 days, and we're recording this on Thursday, what's this, 16th?
The 16th.
16th. If anybody listening has any interest in Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key for the next 15 days, because it just went live in Europe, they're having a celebration now. To get into a dungeon, much like in Record Keeper, you spend stamina. In this, you spend AP. For the next 15 days, every event, every story event or special event is 1 AP, which is ridiculous because usually the lowest ones are 3. So that's crazy. And just for signing on in the next 15 days, you get a special badge, which is actually really useful. It's not just something you stick on. A badge is basically how you attack in this game. And so I'm just going to throw it out there. If you're thinking about doing it, go ahead and do it in the next 15 days. 14 days from when you get this, probably. There, now I'm done.
All right, then.
I guess that's me. Again, thanks, Brian, for setting all this up and putting it together. And I'm really interested to see how it develops as we go on and we refine the system itself and learn more about the story that we're in. Get to play more of the game. I'm probably going to end up. I'm definitely going to end up missing the next session of the D&D group the other D&D group that I joined up with. So I'm a little bummed about that, but it's for a good reason. So I'm also excited.
Are you going to GP Pittsburgh?
No, I'm going to Brian's house.
Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Are you going to a Hot Girl at Work's wedding?
No.
Wait, is she getting married at Brian's house?
Is she going to play Magic with us?
That'd be cool, but I severely doubt it. That would not be cool, actually. That would be painful.
I don't know of any hot girls at my work that are getting married in the next few weeks.
What? No. Hot Girl from Work is her name, as far as the listeners know.
Oh, that Hot Girl from
Yeah.
Work.
Hot Girl at Work, yeah. She's
Not
getting
Hot Girl
married
from
that
Work,
day.
Just Hot Girl. The Hot Girl from Work. Okay, got it. I didn't know that. That's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway. Word? Was that it for you then there, Mr. Face?
It was.
Mr. Face. At least you caved in a Merfolk skull. I'm proud of you. A little bit extreme, but he did try to kill you, so all's fair in war and not listening to me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, do please let us know if that was entertaining to listen to past the obvious noobish parts. Bear that in mind, please.
Yeah.
They're like, you guys suck. Yeah, we know that part. Tell us more.
Yes.
Give us some constructive criticism.
Yeah. And let us know if that's a thing that we should keep doing, because if not, then we'll say, and we'll stop, because if it's that bad, then there's no reason to
Torture people.
Yeah. Also, there was an also. Oh, but yes, Brian said that stuff's gonna get released, but not yet. So before you ask, not yet.
Mm.
Yes, it will be.
Yep.
Not yet. Sorry. Deal with it. Brian's the boss. Aren't you, Brian?
Yep.
See?
Yeah, boss.
Okay, get on the plane. All right, then. So with that, is there anything else going on? We hit the, I don't remember if I said this on the odds and ends or on the show proper. I think it was the odds and ends. We hit the 666 YouTube subscriber mark. Yay!
Yay.
And immediately went past it. So now we got to shoot for 750. So If you enjoy my videos, tell people. Help me out. Spread the word. Show some love. All that good stuff. And I appreciate it. I don't think anything has really... Oh, I did put up the last Duck Game video. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah.
And the next 3 questions from GP Charlotte... Well, it won't go up tonight because I have to get this up tonight. But it will be going up tomorrow, I guess. So if you're already hearing this, and it's been up for more than 24 hours, then you should probably go find GP Charlotte 3 Questions Part 2. I'm having a lot of fun with it. I got lots of musical bits to add in since I don't have to keep a lid on that anymore as my bonus thing. Oh my god, I'm having so much fun. Like actually putting in music, like the hard part, is so much fun. It's weird. So that's very awesome. I recorded a bunch of videos of a game called Speedrunners with, let's see, it was me and Billy from It Might Be Gaming on YouTube, and Rob from the Retro League podcast. Jungle Rat Rob. Do you guys remember him? Yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And Scott, like old roommate Scott. Yeah. We recorded Speedrunners, and it was also a blast. It's like I figured out how to describe it. It's like a 2D Mario Kart foot race type of game. And it is a blast. It's a completely different game than Duck Game, but there's still lots of yelling at each other and damn it, you screwed me, and it's fun. So that'll be going up once I get the next 3 questions up. So tomorrow I'm going to start posting videos again. I made myself not distract myself with videos until I get this one done. So expect the Tavern Brawl and the first Speedrunners video, and maybe some more Rogue Legacy, maybe something else. I haven't figured it out yet. I just know I'm going to record several videos and then go back to 3 Questions Part 3. So yay! Very excited. That's youtube.com/c/themanapool. Oh yeah. And if you want to follow me on Twitter, that's @themanapool. If you want to send us an email, that's dorks@themanapool.com. By the way, there's one in spam that I just found a minute ago while you guys were doing your final thoughts.
Oh, wow.
The Facebook page is facebook.com/themanapool. The Patreon page is patreon.com/themanapool. Is that everything? That's close enough. The links are all in the description. All the show notes for every episode. So go check all that out. We're on Google Plus too, but only kinda, so don't even worry about that one. Unless you're on Google Plus, because I think YouTube, when I post something to the YouTube page, I think it goes up on the Google Plus page because they're connected. I think. I don't actually remember. I think that's right though. But no one's on Google Plus, so I don't guess it matters. Send us an email if you're on Google Plus. And yeah. That sounds good. That'll be good. So give us some feedback. Let us know what you think. I will go die now. And yeah, so big thanks to Brian for doing all of this insane amount of work for our and your entertainment.
Just as long as everybody enjoys it, that's what makes it worth it. As long as you give me enough time to get it done too. So
next week, Brian, I want a full campaign. No. So, this has been, what did we say, 423? Episode 423 of the Manapool. Thank you all so very much for listening, and would somebody please find me a sword?